Anyway, guys, let's get started. Okay, again, Moose, thank you for letting me stream with the community your film. This is really exciting. Now everyone is here. And let's get this started. So we're gonna basically watch with the community now. So let's enjoy this. It's my first time watching, and for those, you guys probably seen it already. So, but yeah, this is the first time for me. And again, Moose, thank you so much for letting me stream this. And yeah, let's enjoy this, shall we? Here we go. Let's watch, boss. Oh, it's sponsor of Team Nippy, you fool. I didn't know that, puppy. Okay. Now I gotta dodge a headphone. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Maybe he should just, before he does the look, he just gets the hot sauce and just looks with like a little bit of something in it. That'd be an epic. Alright, let's do this, boys. Here we go. Let me know if you guys hear it alright, okay? Okay, quiet now, boys. It's good? Okay. I'm gonna watch, boys, so let's enjoy this.
We were pioneers. We were unique. We were restless pursuers of our dreams.
Who's that? Wait. Wow, thanks for the love, boys. JD's Gaming, thank you.
It was the year 2002 when Blizzard Entertainment released the strategy game Warcraft 3, along with a powerful editing tool that would allow players to create their own custom modifications.
You guys want it to be full screen? Okay.
What started out as one game turned into thousands. But it was only one of them that stood out. A young individual by the name of Yule picked up on ideas of previous modifications and created his own. He called it Dota, Defense of the Ancients.
Dota was a mod or a custom map to Warcraft 3, and I think it went as far back as the early era of Strive to StarCraft and everything, so it's probably been there a lot longer than just starting in 2002.
What do you mean no reactions?
That's where it started gaining popularity.
Dota came from a community.
Oh my god, look how young they both look.
Games, and then they just came up with this wonderful mode. Like it's just the simplest thing in the world to have Fortress versus Fortress and a couple of heroes in between.
Dude.
And when Dota All-Stars came together, it was a combination of all of these different types of ideas that people had around this game mode and piled it all into one big thing which has been refined over the years.
The idea behind
It's with the
Dota
community,
was
boys.
adapted by many others who created their own different versions of it. Some even combined the many into one.
Wow.
But each of them only worked on it for a short period of time, leaving it for others to continue. It wasn't until 2005 that it rapidly gained popularity, when yet another individual called Ice Frog picked up the development
So many
and
people
took the
tried to
chance
mod it.
devote his life to the game. But what made his work so successful, as opposed to all the others who had tried their best before him? He listened.
Oh, nice
Talking to
moves.
hundreds of different people every day, asking questions, seeking advice.
Nice.
He skillfully condensed the feedback
wow.
to produce the game the community wished for.
The one outstanding feature of
Milk!
this is the fact that there's one guy working on it who's in very close contact with especially the professional scene, but also has an entire team of beta testers, Ice Frog, and he's always monitored the competitive scene especially very closely to find out what works, what doesn't work, and he continuously released these new updates that make sure the game is balanced.
Is Bruno Ice Frog?
The meta game develops and everything, and I think that's a big integral part of why this game is so much more successful than a lot of other games, even though there was technically no developer behind it for the longest time. only for the past 4 years.
He
or so.
listened, yeah.
And he still managed to get a bigger player base.
That's my
than
fiance.
most
She
other
can talk
titles.
whenever she wants.
While the community around Dota grew into the millions worldwide, its commercial success remained in the dark. The hard evidence that these player numbers existed was missing. But the
Okay, I'm gonna ask her
community
to tone it
kept
down just a little
believing
bit. 1 second.
and did its best to push the game towards being accepted by the public.
Bunch of online tournaments at the time then started to get interested in Dota and realized that there was a
She says she
big
will
market
because
here
she's
that
so
was
sweet.
unexplored, but it wasn't an esport the same way Counter-Strike or Warcraft and so forth were.
During Dota 1 days for tournaments, they were very, very sporadic. I think the only consistent thing that was out there was Farm for Fame and the Dota League. But that was all European Dota.
Interesting.
In Southeast Asia, we had something called the Asian Dota Championships, which was played a lot.
How long ago was this,
that
boys?
was probably, I think it was 2 or maybe 3 times a year, and it would run for roughly 2.5 months each time it would go.
Wow.
That also means there's a lot of downtime.
So outside of DreamHack and then ESWC, there wasn't many LAN tournaments, so that when Dota League announced their Dota League Masters taking place in Hanover, every team wanted to go, every top European team wanted to go, despite the fact that we only played for, I think, €1,000 or something. But this was really
1990?
how much the teams really
Wow.
wanted to compete. It was all about the passion for the game and wanting to be the best. It didn't matter how much cash were on the line back then.
So, look how much skinnier Milk is here. Like, skinnier than usual. So Milk is like an icon in the industry then, huh? So I was like, that's awesome. Oh, look at freaking Milk going Super Saiyan, man.
So I think the true juggernauts of that time, King Surf International, SK Gaming, MYM, and so forth were there. There were teams from the Czech Republic, and we had teams from France. And everything. There was teams from all over Europe, and it had the very best teams of Europe as well.
Is the sound okay for you boys?
For first place that I believe went to King Surf International. Some stars of today are actually from that team, or at least Kuroki is. I can't remember.
Kuroki with hair.
Poppy as well. Now playing on.
Look at Poppy.
And then I took second place with them.
Not so angry.
We had Nani, who is been on Fnatic for the longest time.
Just joking.
I think all the other players of that lineup.
Okay, that's good.
Retired since then, and then SK Gaming, of course, with Loda and Ake. So there's definitely a lot of high-profile players of today that were as good back then.
Look at Kuroki, man! Oh my god!
Stuck with the game for the past decade.
Wow.
Without a publisher and just a private individual behind it, no one in the scene was able to make any money.
What happened?
Community websites could make a few $100s through advertisements, which was just enough to pay the servers, but it took hundreds of volunteers to keep them running. And especially the players who saw their chance in competing professionally were struggling.
Okay, sorry for yelling.
I mean, back then there was no money to be made, right?
Just joking.
I just played the game because
Love you,
I
man.
enjoyed it. That was the most important thing. Like, I don't think you can go into something and like, you can't go into the music industry and say I want to make money with it. It's the way it works. Is the most successful people, they really love doing music, and then they just start doing money with it. It's just how it goes.
Words of wisdom by Kuroki, man. That's so true.
Esports was never big enough that you'd have some big company come to you and say, okay, we will pay $2,000 a month to every player that has their badge, like our logo as a badge on their shoulder. Like, these days that can happen, but back in those days it was almost impossible.
You make $2,000?
By the time Dota 2 hit the community, I think I had student loans for around $30,000.
We made no money when we first started commentating. We spent so much. It's not like these days when you've got things like Twitch who will give you money for streaming. And they take care of all the server hosting and everything else like that. And it's like, well, just keep playing adverts and we'll give you a share of the revenue which is created.
Wow.
The server costs back then were insane. Even just the audio servers. You were paying a substantial amount a month just to have these servers up, even if you weren't using them. And then the video servers, you paid by the bandwidth. So the more people that watch, the greater it was for you, because you're like, yes, we've got more people watching, but 20 people could suck your video server dry. And you're like, well, okay, I've now just managed to spend like $10,000 in the space of 2 weeks because people are watching my video live stream where
serious?
you would pray you can get $10,000 worth of revenue when people are watching your stream these days.
Wow.
But money was not the only issue. The game's technology had grown old over the years, and IceFrog was limited to the Warcraft 3 engine, letting him improve and develop Dota only so far.
That was hard times. Like when someone disconnected from the game, there was no reconnect option like we have nowadays.
No, seriously?
So, that was pretty tough.
Yo, guys, get you to appreciate your Dota,
if
dude.
you've been in the game for a long time, you can definitely remember the atrociousness of having to play on a server located in New York, for instance, when you're a European and you're playing in 2005. That would be a horrendous experience.
Wow.
It wasn't until October 2010, 5 years after IceFrog had picked up Dota, that the loud calls of the community would resonate through the internet.
Why? What
IceFrog
happened?
and Valve announced the successor, Dota 2. It meant the world to everyone involved.
I think the most important change that Dota 2 brought with it was the recognition and acceptance outside of what Valve was doing. So suddenly you have all these esports organizations who want to pick you up. There's tons of sponsors with a keen interest in the game just because of the sheer publicity and the fact that Valve, one of the biggest publishers in the world, suddenly is developing the game and everything. So everyone was jumping on the Dota train. So Counter-Strike were talking about it, Warcraft were talking about it, StarCraft was talking about it, everyone was talking about it. And I felt that this was a monumental point in my career where I could finally, you know, be proud of the game I played and show the world that this game deserves every bit as much recognition as any other title.
Oh, that's so great.
While the community and professional players were used to Dota 1 for almost 8 years, Dota 2 was just over a year and a half into development at Valve. The new visuals and gameplay had a different feel than the original Dota, and the community's first reactions were mixed.
So a lot of people were really disappointed with, my hero doesn't look like it should, or these things in the map should be a little bit different, or I'm disappointed with this, and this. Generally, at the beginning, the game got a lot of criticism, and people seemed to not like it, and a lot of people said, we will never switch to Dota 2. This is not like our good old game.
I remember the Skeleton King one was the most hilarious one. The Hellfire Blast ability was literally a skeleton farting. Like that was his first ability icon, and they had so much fun with these initial things. That's kind of like the initial joke ones that they made more than they do the current ones right now. It was really funny because they just had the Valve.
Oh, that's so funny.
It was funny. It was all this kind of jazz.
Oh, the alpha. Oh, look at you guys.
I was sitting.
This must be such a great thing to watch for all of you.
Studio inside the arena in Kiev, and I was not allowed to show the game to anyone. I signed DNA, but of course I showed it to our screen director.
Who's this guy?
And we were sitting together downloading Dota, and we were like in closed studio, and we launched Dota. It was like, wow. The first game I played was just started the game. I chose the Leshrac, and it was like, oh my god. It was so terrible. Like all the trees were so bad, all the graphics were so bad.
That's nuts.
I played 15 minutes and closed Dota. Like, forget about it. It's a bad game.
Thanks.
They're not gonna much better. But,
I didn't mute the hosting.
He's
a Russian caster.
It was actually playable and even watchable.
But the announcement that Valve made in August 2011 swept everyone off their feet. $1 million in prize money for the first
unprecedented
computer game tournament. It felt like it was Valve's way of saying thank you to the community that worked so hard for so many years. They had turned Dota 1 into Dota 2.
Oh, look!
To the
wow.
For the very first
Hey,
time.
Moose, wonderful work, dude.
The International.
1 million.
The International
Gavin!
a conversation between people on the Dota 2 team. IceFrog thought it would be a good idea if we tried it out. And we tried to think of how you reward people for what the different things they bring. And it seemed like the professional players were generating a lot of value for the community. So the International One grew out of that idea of how can we return to them some of what they've already given to the community.
I can kind of remember a meeting where we're like, well, how are we going to show this game off to people?
Really? You added that last minute?
And
that the transition?
Probably said, I wonder if we could run a tournament. And then somebody probably said, let's make the prize pool really big.
Oh my god.
And it just kind of grows from there.
And now you had the $20 million tournament just a few months ago.
Up with a name for it and building graphics, and then we're on a plane to Germany.
Oh,
when I first heard about the International, there was like this sense of euphoria, because it wasn't just, you know, even if it was $50,000, I'd be like, wow, that's really, really cool. I can't wait to
arrange
play
the subtitle.
Then they announced that it was $1.6 million, and you were just like, what?
There was literally no money to be made, and suddenly
okay, wait, I got it. I'll fix that.
That was crazy back then. I remember people went crazy over it.
It was huge money in esport. Nobody could even understand that that's for real. That's
there you go.
1 million. So for me, it was something incredible.
Done.
2 or 3 days to actually believe in this.
I think the most enjoyable part was not the announcement of it or the fact that we had something to look forward to. It was participating in the actual tournament that really, really stood out to me because of the attention it got, but also the treatment that you received from Valve. And everything ran very smoothly and very professionally. And you know, the first international
was a scam, really? Yeah, Chinese would think that.
Oh,
they're just trying to make money. Jews might think that too. No, I'm just kidding.
Trying to get a glimpse of this $1 million tournament, but also the new title coming up from Valve.
Well, it's flattering to think that
this guy is, what's his name? Sorry, guys.
Think that we actually knew what was going to happen. We absolutely didn't. We looked at it reasonably simply. This was a really fun thing for us. Our fans seemed to really enjoy it. Let's just kind of keep investing in it and see where it would take us.
That's fantastic.
As we met more people from the professional scene and kind of watched the
Eric Johnson. Okay. This is Eric Johnson. I've heard his name a lot.
We're really watching the community and
from Croc, Indian guy, Croc named Croc. I think Wick, you know him.
On to the next event.
Thank you guys. Thank you boys.
A lot of people who come into it now might not realize, because they see these tournaments and they're like, wow, there's so much money, so the players are playing for a living, which of course we are at this point, but back then for us it was a hobby that we took to the next level.
Right now there's so many more avenues.
Yeah, Ice Frog!
Providing salaries, which is of course really good for the players because they get these safety.
He's still wearing colorful suits back in the day.
But also they can create item sets that net people money. Item sets can get 6 figures if something as well. So sometimes you can, as a player, some players could potentially make more money out of selling items than from winning prize tournaments. Right? And from that you can actually get a sustainable income as well.
Dota started as an idea.
Wick, who's the artist that's the most successful in the Dota community in terms of selling sets? I'm curious.
Which then developed into a competitive community, which has now developed into an industry.
Wow. Nowadays, you can actually make a living out of it.
Yeah, I know, I'm just joking.
Organizer, whoever you are, if you want to be part of esports, if you're ambitious, you can actually make a living out of it nowadays. So it's definitely a success.
Anuxi? Wow, seriously? Thank you. Oh. Come on, man. Clap your hands for Moose, dude. So that it wasn't just a transition from Dota 1 to Dota 2, it's also a transition from a hobby to an actual profession, with all the support that you guys, man, powering through all those. Cyborg Matt, Wickrim, Wick, you're here! Oh, come on. Maltena TV Dodo, thank you, Dos. Dota 3, you Pinoy, yes, I'm Pinoy. Hey, let's watch the credits. Jacob, Toby, Kuro, Vitaly, Bruno, Eric, Gabe Newell, Trolls, Nielsen, Oleg, Alex, Freaks for You. Oh man, wow, that must be. How does it feel, like, Matt? Everyone to watch it right now, coming from, I'm sure, watching it a few years ago, and watching it now where Dota is now. How does it feel to watch it now again? Must be something, man. You guys came a long way, dudes. Feels good, man. Oh, man, I'm sure. I've seen free-to-play, and I cried in free-to-play. Oh my god, that was great. Hey, press 1 for Moose, man, for making such an awesome film. Oh, dude, look at the feels. Oh. Is there true sight? I got triggered when I saw Dota effects. Those shits left me. Wait, no, wait. Wait, who am I watching? Where's Moose? Where's Moose? Did he say something? Moose, thank you, man. Oh, man. Very nice. Everyone pressing 1. Oh, dude. Well, I mean, this is not trying to be biased or anything, but one thing Dota definitely does right is it's how connected they are to the community. And that's just coming from an outsider looking in who's, of course, just gotten into the community just fairly recently. So, I mean, Wick, you do an amazing job of getting everyone connected, and it's such a tight-knit group. And as a comedian, I would have to say that the Dota community is the funniest. You guys are crazy. In terms of memes, I would say Dota's tier 1 in terms of community. Okay? I think the FG has the swagger, but in terms of, like, freaking being funny, Dota's, you guys are, like, it's some legit funny stuff.